Hello, fellow nerds and coffee lovers. This is the Gaggiuino project I've been working on. Specifically today, we're going to be talking about stock wiring. If you are new and you don't know what a Gaggiuino is, I'm going to just give a brief introduction to it. It's this one is specifically Gen 3, and this PCB controls different elements of your coffee maker, and it makes basically a manual or dumb coffee maker into a smart machine. This one has a 4.3 4.3-inch display, a touch screen. It also has a pressure transducer, a thermocouple, which gets accurate temperature readings. This complete kit comes with a TOFN LED, which is down here, which is able to measure your water levels. It's quite a robust kit. There's also an SSR here, and it comes with almost all of the pieces you need to integrate the Gaggiuino into your espresso maker. Most people use it for Gaggia Classic, but I've seen that other people have done a Rancilio and other machines as well. But the directions are specifically made for the Gaggia Classic or the Gaggia Classic Pro. I recommend, if you're interested in this or you're doing this build, that you go to the GitHub and to the Discord. There is a robust community there. You can search and find a lot of answers to any questions you have. If you haven't seen it yet, I did an unboxing of the complete kit. I'll put it right here. My kit is from Peak Coffee. I recommend you do your research before purchasing a kit or doing a Lego or PCB build. DIY EFI also offers kits for sale. I'd recommend going through the GitHub, learning what you need to do to put this together, as well as going to the Discord and looking in the channels for these suppliers. Zero-Bit is the creator of this project, and Peak Coffee and DIY EFI are approved suppliers for these kits. So definitely check those out before you do order. You can get a lot more details that way, and I think it's really important to do your research. Okay, so let's get started on what I learned in this build, and hopefully what I share can help you, whether you're deciding whether you're going to get into it or you're already doing it and you have some questions. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to point out some components. A lot of you probably already know what things are, but here's my PCB and in some housing that I printed. Recommend printing all your parts before. I didn't do it, and I wish I would have. This right here is your boiler, and this is your steam wand. Here's your little steam knob. Here are your brew switches. So it goes your steam switch, brew switch, power switch, and then you have down here you have your solenoid, and you have your pump, and then you have your SSR. So that's just to kind of orient with the machine a little bit while we talk about it. So I just learned all of this recently, but it will help while we go over what else I learned. So the very first part of your build is going to be knowing your components and labeling your connections. So I will jump over to the past video while I explain this, but basically this is complete besides needing the wiring. Here is the machine originally. As you can see, those are the steam, brew, and power switch. So the steam switch here doesn't have a connector in spot 1. So you can see the S2, S4, B4, P1, P4, and then H1, 2, 3, and 4. So make sure you get your labeling correct before you start your wiring. And this power cable is really important. So GLN, you want to make sure you have those labeled and connected properly at the end of the build. You use the two screw holes right here. Obviously make sure it's completely disconnected. And then you want to label what you can in the machine. There's wonderful schematics provided on the GitHub. There are also pictures. I'm actually proud I submitted this to the project, and so this might help if you have the complete kit, because this is how your cables will come. There is a lot of documentation on there, and there is an image. I actually don't know if I have it here, but it shows the coffee machine with the lid off and things labeled. One thing that really is going to help, really took me a moment to understand, is these switches are labeled 1 through 6, even if there's not a spot to be occupied. So an example would be, this is P1, under it's P2, under that's P3, P4, P5, P6. So it's a grid, and you can see that in the GitHub. So when you do label your parts, just know that you're going to want to label everything you can. There's a couple parts that are below where you can't see them. For example, right here, there's a G, an L, and an N. And then for your pump, you also originally can't see the PA and PB, but those need to be labeled too once you pull this out. The first part of the build is that you are going to disassemble. So you don't need to take out these 2 screws. There are 4 bolts under the group head, and that will release the boiler. You can take this off right here, this bolt, and then wiggle out the steam wand. You can pull this knob off, and that way you have access to your boiler. What I think is really important is to have these labeled, and also for me, I really didn't want to pull everything out, so I kind of worked on things individually. You do take, there's 2 thermostats, so there's one right here, and then there's one down there. The first part, you do remove that brew thermostat, and you actually jump those 2 cables together. So this is also important. You're going to want to make sure that you do have a couple extra things that aren't included in the expedited kit. That is shrink wrap. You're going to need a heat gun for that. You're also going to need some flag terminals, or at least I did because mine burnt out. And then also you are going to need them if you decide to do the what is that called? The fuse switch. So this is the fuse it came with. I actually have elected to put that off till later, but let me show you what it is. The Peak Coffee kit comes with this ceramic thermo fuse, and it's kind of it's an upgrade from this fuse right here, and it will sit in this spot right here because this steam fuse, or the steam kind of switch, I guess, or steam temperature fuse thing, I don't know. Whatever it is, there's something sitting right there, and if you do decide to use this, it takes the place of this fuse, but it lives in this spot right here. So there's more information in the custom wiring. I might tackle that in a later video, but I think that's important to know because you will get this in your kit and you'll be like, what the heck is that thing? And it's actually really cool how these ceramic thermo fuses work, but that's for another time. So then after you do you get this, where did it go? You get this jumped and heat shrinked. Then you're going to put in your new thermocouple into that same spot down there where that came from. So it's hard to see, but down there you just hand tighten in that blue wire, especially for this kit, and that screws in there, and that's able to get the temperature to the PCB. It's really accurate. So then the other thing is, if you are at this point, you've already done your pre-install testing with your low voltage off the PCB. One thing I hadn't thought of till the end is if you want to put a micro SD card in here, you could even put it in before you get your display into the housing here. So that might be something you want to think about while you're doing your build. The next thing I want to mention is, after you have this disassembled, you can then disassemble the pump. It's just a couple screws. There's one right down there and one down there. So you're going to want a longer Phillips head screwdriver to get in there. And also when you do your pump, there's something I learned. I didn't really understand what piggybacking was. So if you look at the wiring diagram, and another thing for those newbies like me, make sure you're holding it the right way when you're looking at the part. So for me, that made more sense because I was looking at it from this side. And you do piggyback into one of those connections. There's nice documentation on that. Oh, and there's a documentation on that thermocouple. Make sure you don't over tighten it, hand tighten it. There's the jumping, and that's later. Here's the piggybacking I was talking about. So this was new to me. If you do buy the complete kit, you will have this pre-wired, so it's obvious that this is the N and it goes into the piggyback. It's actually not obvious, but if you watch my parts list video, I do explain a little bit about what that part is, and then you can see what everything else is labeled. And there's some nice documentation there for your pump. Okay. So moving on things that helped me. One is not completely disassembling the whole machine. Kind of tackling it one part at a time helped because I'm new to this, so I didn't really want to pull everything apart. I think it's important to know too, these connections down here, they actually stay put, so you don't have to mess with those at all. These green wires, they also stay connected. You can either disconnect them and take this off, or leave them connected. I elected to leave the fuse in here as well. And when I was done, I was a little concerned because I had some leftover parts. So let's go over what the parts were. It was these two cables, and I found out these are for the Eco version, so you don't have to worry about that. There's a couple Wagos that came with it. Those are kind of optional or up to how you do your wiring. And then there are some heat shrink wire connectors. I didn't need those either, so don't worry if you have those extra. Those are just included for different types of builds. There is also an extra T-fitting, which I believe is in case there's an issue with yours, but you could also, I saw that there was on the Discord, there's a mod where you could make the tubes that go down into one. So there is a tube right here that connects to this little guy. And if you are pulling wires, you might disconnect this, so make sure you put that back in before you finish. There are a couple other extra wires that came with it. So you get your extra display wires, and there is a duplicate for the TOF and LED wire. And this is for the Peak Coffee kit. Here's the scale, which I will do another video on this probably. I do understand why a lot of people probably think they're gonna make a video about the Gaggiuino build, and then once you get done with it, you're like, woo, and you just want to make coffee. So I understand why there's not a lot of video documentation on this, but there's extra of these load cells. This will be in an upcoming video. Okay, I also didn't mention double-sided tape is nice to have, and this Captain tape, I got this from Elegoo. I don't know if it should be stickier or not, but I kind of put a little bit on just to test it, and it didn't really stay that well, so I have some work to do with this guy. If you have any tips on how to use this, let me know in the comments. Okay, so I think besides a couple things, we've gone over most of it. Let me think. There is, if you're having issues with the firmware, video up here. If you haven't run your machine in a while, at the end of the build it does say, well, whether or not you've run it in a while, it does say to do a flush. So to do that, when you start the machine, when you power it on, make sure everything's closed up, make sure you've got your wiring connect. When you do start it, there's a button right here, it says flush. Press it down, it'll turn green, and then you can click this and you can run your machine for 5 seconds. After that, there's also info on how to download a community profile called UT Fill Tube or Tube Fill, and you want to run that. I ran that, and that got, and I checked to make sure there was water in the tubes. I guess one of the things I didn't talk about is the plumbing. So while you do your wiring, one of the later steps is to do the plumbing. And what that entails is making a cut in this braided wire. So you make the cut right here. If you get the complete kit, you'll get one of these guys. And you go about 65 millimeters up. You make a straight cut. You put in your T-fitting. You put on your bolts. And you then you put your pressure transducer into the end of here. You bolt that up, and you want to make sure that stays below this junction. And you want to also, one thing that I struggled a little with is this solid state relay. It needs to be connected for heat dissipation, and it is a chunky boy. So this doesn't really fit. A lot of people just replace it and they do a mod. I was able to squeeze it down enough. I'm not sure what I'm going to do about that. It doesn't sit perfect. It's kind of a little bit annoying. Yeah, besides that, I don't think I have a lot. If you have questions, like I said, I recommend GitHub, checking the Discord, asking on the Discord. There's a lot of great help. And if you want to have a laugh or kind of see how annoying it can be I don't know, I guess, give people advice on how to fix this and stuff when people don't follow the documentation or the rules, just type in ChatGPT into the Discord and then read what people were doing by using ChatGPT. It's a lesson in patience, I'd say. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for checking this out. I am going to clean up these wires, making sure that my high voltage kind of does one of these and my low voltage does one of these without touching anything that it shouldn't. No wire on wire, metal on metal contact. I'm going to try to avoid the heat, and I'm going to do the finishing touches, like getting some heat shrink on here, putting this out, getting this connected on the outside, getting my display cabling all together, and doing that scale mod, and just getting it all kind of situated. It is working wonderful. I tried a shot, and I had to actually switch my spring to the 12 bar. But it's it's better than like 95% of the shots I pulled, and the milk was freaking awesome. So like matte, and it was really easy to make latte art. So very excited. There's going to be a lot more videos of this actually in use. And if you like these build projects and learning along with me, consider subscribing. If this helped you at all, drop a like down below. If you have any questions that the Discord can answer, or you want to know about my experience, leave a comment down below. And I do have a really exciting build coming up. It's the IQEX. It's the dual gantry quad extruder from Formbot. It's called the Explorer, and it's so cool. And that is coming soon. Okay, well, thank you guys again for watching. Hopefully this helps somebody, and I will catch you on the next one. Rando Tech Nerd out. Also, a very special thank you to 0bit and all the mods on the Discord for guiding me. Thank you so much.